What is up, viewers, shows and haters? This is Pat here, and today I want to talk about activation codes. And I'm going to be going in depth about this so you guys can, strap in tight or whatever on my little rant. It's going to be a good rant. It's not just going to be, aimless. I have a structure with this. So anyway, if you guys don't know what activation codes are, I'm just going to explain it to you. And if you guys do, whatever, sit tight and you guys can, I may get this wrong, but hopefully I'll try my best to get it right. So anyway, let's start off. What activation codes are, for example, are if you buy a Battlefield game that has an activation code, you enter that one activation code, you just get one. And so you buy the game, you open it up, and you find the activation code in like the the little slip where the instructions are and whatever. And when you type in that activation code, it activates your gamer tag or your console or whatever console you have. It activates it, so only you can use it. So nobody else can use it. So if you give it to one of your friends because they need activation code, they cannot use it. It's only been used once. It only can be used once, and you just used it. So let's just get that straight. So when you use this activation code, what it does is pretty much it protects the investment of the game developers. And I'll get a little bit more in depth in this, but first of all, I'm just going to kind of explain. So once you use this activation code, you're the only one that can use it, so you just wasted it. And now when you let's say you get tired of the game, so when it's Battlefield, when you get tired of it, you sell it, you give it to GameStop. And let's say it didn't have an activation code. It's just like, let's say it's a Modern Warfare. Let's say you got sick of Modern Warfare 3 because of all this BS and how bad the game is. Everybody's had that moment. So let's say you're sick and tired of Modern Warfare 3 and you want to sell it. So you sell it to GameStop. And GameStop, buys it for 1/3 of the price, which is just a total ripoff. God, I hate GameStop with a passion. But anyway, I digress. So you give it to GameStop or you sell it to GameStop, they buy it from you 1/3 price, and what they do is they put it on sale to be used. And you buy used games all the time and you'll be fine. You buy a used game, it's less than the actual, the new game, of course, because it's used, right? So you buy the game and you just play it, and you guys don't realize that when you buy the game new, the developers get the money for it. Because the developers and the people that finance old Modern Warfare 3, they ship their copies to GameStop, and GameStop buys them from them and sells them at a higher price, to get a profit. That's how businesses work. But when you sell the game, GameStop now can sell it to you used, and what that means is the game developers aren't getting any money out of that. Modern Warfare 3 developers, or whatever developers like Infinity Ward, isn't getting any money for it. Why? Is because you sold it to GameStop, and GameStop is going to sell it back. GameStop didn't buy it from the game developers; they bought it from you, which is a lot cheaper since they buy from 1/3 prices, which is just, outrageous. So they're selling it, and they're actually making a half decent profit off of it, and the game developers are getting nothing out of it. And so in order to protect that, to protect their quote-unquote integrity, game developers created an activation code. What this means is when you activate the activation code, or I already explained it, but when you activate it, only you can play it. So if you try to sell it to GameStop, you won't be able to, because you don't have the activation code, and it's just you only can buy it new. At least what other games you have. It's like, let's say for example, I bought StarCraft. I can't sell it back to I can't sell it back to GameStop. Why? Because I already used the activation code, and they're not going to take it without the activation code because it's just a disc. I can torrent that from off anything for free, but you need the activation code. That's how they protect the integrity of their business, and that's how they make money. So people keep buying the new games. That's how they do it. So when that happens, it's like you guys may be thinking, oh, that's a great thing to do, but the thing is, now you can't buy it used. And a lot of people are into saving money. A lot of people like to wait. Well, let's say you want to play Modern Warfare 3, but it's too expensive to buy new, so you wait like 3 months, and it may be, well, in the Modern Warfare 3 is not really the case, but some games, like about 3 to 4 months later, they dumb down the price. Okay, they lose about $10, and now you can buy it. But in this case, Battlefield 3, because for any games, like people sell it and now they become used, and now they're a lot cheaper for you to buy. But in this case, for StarCraft, it's always going to be the same amount. You're always going to have to buy it new. You cannot buy it used. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's just greedy in my case. I think it's money whoring at its finest. It's just so greedy of them to try to make people buy the new ones every single time. Every single time they buy a Battlefield or a StarCraft, they have to buy it new. And it's a good strategy, but at the same time it's not good for my wallet, and I think it's just total greed is why they do it. And also, there's a philosophy behind it. It's like, why would people buy all new cars? This is why, let's just put it as a car, for example. Why would you want to buy a new car when you could get one used? Is it that old cars are just bought used and like bought new, and then all the used cars are just vanished? I mean, it's just so much greed in this, so much greed in game developers. I just don't understand it anymore. But whatever. See you guys later. Peace out.